Hey guys, so I kind of want to do this as a little introductory video to my financial journey and just give some tips about personal finance. I've been a nurse for a little over a year now. I've been investing probably, as young as I can remember. My dad is a financial advisor, so when I was younger and just got like money from birthday gifts or babysitted or my first few jobs, he always encouraged me to save, and he bought my first stock in McDonald's, where I would go to school and tell everyone that I owned a company, because technically a stock is like you own the company. So I was like, oh, I own this company. So but my goal of this video is to appeal to my friends and family who may not know much about investing or don't know what investing is and why it's so important. So that's what I'm going to be explaining today. So I'll start off with what is investing and why is it so important. So as we know, as the years go by, everything gets so expensive, especially living here in LA. Just like the gas prices, the food, stepping out of the door, you have to pay so much. So that's why I stay in a lot. But we don't want to work so hard and not have our money be able to sustain us, especially if we're big savers. If you're just saving money in a regular traditional savings account or even a high yield savings account, that's not going to grow, and you're not going to make your money work for you. I mean, it grows to an extent, but nothing compared to how prices are going up, inflation, all that. Investing in the stock market is a way that we can manage our risk and rewards, or balance our risk and reward, and we have the opportunity to grow 8 to 10% yearly, grow our money 8 to 10% yearly on a consistent basis. So the stock market is, I'm going to explain this in the most Gen Z terms that I can, but a bunch of companies that you invest in. I can't really explain this too much, but you buy stocks and it can either go up or down. It's unpredictable, and that's the scary part about it, but the whole thing is about balancing risk and reward. So if you buy a stock, that's high risk, but the reward can be high, but the downfall can be really low too. So that's why I wouldn't recommend putting all your eggs in one basket and investing in individual stocks. Stock market generally goes up and down. You want to invest in a group of stocks that are doing relatively well, and that is called a mutual fund or a fund. These are less risk than a stock, but also less reward, in some cases. A lot of mutual funds, depending on which ones, they steadily go up, and you want to aim for the ones that go up 8 to 10% a year, and the ones that have low expense ratios. And expense ratios are the cost of the fund. So you don't want to be paying a lot to buy the fund, even though it's growing for you. So there are a lot of funds that have low expense ratios. That's just something to consider. Other than that, you have the highest risk, highest possible reward is stocks. Second would be funds, a little lower risk, sometimes lower reward, but you want to be consistent with it so it grows. That's the one that I would recommend investing most money into, especially if you're younger. Lower than that would be bonds and money market funds. This I would recommend investing in if you are more looking for something short term, because you can take it out really easily. It's a lot less risk, but it makes more than a high yield savings would. I would say those traditional savings accounts would be at the bottom of, in terms of how much money you're getting and how much your money is growing. So that's kind of my explanation. I am so sorry if that was a really bad explanation, but hopefully I'll get better at explaining it. I continue to ask my dad what the heck the stock market is because it confuses me still, because I'm like, where is this money coming from? Like, what decides if it goes up or down? But you don't have to get technical about it. The beauty of investing is that it doesn't have to be complicated. Trust me, I am not someone to overcomplicate things. I don't know a lot of the technical financial terms. I didn't go to school and do finance, but I'm still, investing and using what I have to grow my money. So that's the beauty of it. In terms of investing with long-term investments, along with the lines that you don't need to make it complicated, keep it simple. I only invest in 5 funds, and that would, in terms of the funds that I invest in 5 funds. I also invest in the money market and I think I have maybe a couple stocks, but no more than $500 in any of them. So the 5 funds that I invest in are going to be the Vanguard funds. I don't know them off the top of my head, but they have a good history of growth, and they've been doing well for me. I invest in those in my retirement accounts as well as my brokerage. Other than that, I really want to also explain types of accounts and what I use those accounts for. So I have 4 primary accounts. I use the bank Charles Schwab. The first account that I have is a checking account. And in this account, it's just money coming in and money going out. I really don't carry any more money that I'm spending in this account. Whenever I get my paycheck in, I put how much I invest into my brokerage, and the rest is going to be money to pay my bills. Not that I have many bills, and I'll get into that later, but that's what a checking account is for, because it is not growing. I'm not going to let money sit in there if it's not, growing for you. So that's what I do with a checking account. You do your deposits, you pay your credit card off on that, you pay your bills, everything, that account. The next account I have is a brokerage account, and a brokerage account is an investing account. So I transfer money from my checking account once I get my checks deposited from my work, and I'll invest into my brokerage account. I started investing into my brokerage account after I maxed out my retirement accounts, because the retirement accounts are more beneficial in the sense that some of them aren't taxed and some of them get employee matches. So I do that to maximize my money, basically. So with the brokerage account, this is the one that I invest in those 5 Vanguard funds, as well as the money market. This is where I keep my emergency fund, and I have it sit in the money market, so it's not just sitting there and not growing. It's growing in the money market. So that is a good thing to do. I would say so let me backtrack. An emergency fund is the money, it's kind of like the first step of your financial journey. You want to save an emergency fund for peace of mind. It's going to be 3 to 6 months rent. I have about $10,000 in there. It's just how much you feel comfortable in, and I'm just letting it, sit there in case there's a rainy day or something. So, so I don't have to continuously invest in it. It's I I have my emergency fund and I am safe in that sense. So that's the first step of any, you always hear these financial gurus talk about it, and it is so important. So that's always the first step. And then go into investing. So yeah, I invest in the Vanguard. In terms of percentage of my paycheck that I invest, I don't calculate a certain percentage, but I try to do, like, my dad calls me a super saver, but I'm living at home, so I'm not really paying rent, so I do have that flexibility to save, and I'm very grateful for that. But I try to invest, like, at least a little over $1,000 a month. I'll get into the specifics later, but I would suggest investing 10 to 20% depending on what gets your bills paid. And yeah, so probably like 10 to 20% of your paycheck. Next is retirement accounts. So I have 2 retirement accounts, one Roth IRA and one Roth 401k. So Roths get taxed after you take it out. Oh wait, no, sorry, my brain. It gets taxed before. So you don't get taxed when on the gains, and you don't get taxed when you take it out. So that is really good. You always want to opt for the Roth option, in my opinion. Either way, you're going to get taxed, but I don't know if the math equates well with this, but I'm pretty sure if you get taxed prior and then your money grows a lot and you don't get taxed when you take it out, that's really good. Like, a lot better than, like, let's say you don't get taxed and your money grows and then you get taxed on all this money that it grew. So I would say opt for the Roth if you are looking into retirement accounts, and everyone should have a retirement account. There's no way that... Something that my dad also taught me is to not rely on anyone else or the government for your personal finances. You have to learn to be self-sufficient, and yeah, I mean, obviously there are emergencies, but in terms of the totem pole on who to rely on, the government is going to be at the lowest. So highly suggest making your own retirement account and just really doing your best to contribute to it and have the mindset that that is money for retirement. I am not taking that out until I retire. So in these accounts, I do the same thing as my brokerage. I have those 5 Vanguard funds, and yeah, it's just, I'm consistently contributing to it and it's consistently growing. The power of compound interest is going to be my best friend there, because time is by my side. The earlier you start, so if you're listening to this right now and you haven't started, then start right now, because time will be your best friend. That's the whole idea of investing. You put money in so you can get money later, a lot more money later. It's the idea of delayed gratification. It's the whole thing. So yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else pertinent to include. Okay, another big thing is just lifestyle choices in general and philosophy. I think that's the biggest thing in personal finance, because you can't really, there's no trick, there's no easy, like, fast, like, win the lottery type thing. It's about consistency. It's about not spending more than you make. It's about living below your means, being humble and not, like, buying all this crazy stuff to, like, make people think you're rich and stuff like that. It's about saving your money. It's about working hard so you can increase your income. So it's a lot of, like, who you are as a person and what you value. And I'm just gonna maybe state bullet points from the top of my head that I think are traits that would benefit in a person's personal finance journey. One would be investing in yourself and in your future in terms of work. So choosing a job or choosing a career that is stable, and I know this is not the dream for everyone, but I think if you think about it a different way, it could be the dream, in the sense that you work a stable job, you make enough money, so you have so much time on your off days, or you free up time in the future to do what you love in your hobbies. Even better if you like your work. But I think that's a big thing, to kind of just make things realistic, and you can't not work hard. I mean, I guess some people can't not work hard, but that's like the 1% of people. A lot of it is working hard and increasing your income, because there'll be more money coming in. So reach for the stars. But yeah, so that's the first thing that I'm thinking about. The other thing is not making poor financial decisions. And this could be very difficult, especially with all the temptations around, maybe buying a new car. In terms of buying a new car, I would suggest buying a used car that is reliable. So a good balance between like not making it too expensive, like not buying a car, like a used car that's like an Audi or something, because all the repairs are going to be super expensive. So buying a reliable used car, maybe doing some repairs on it, but not like all crazy. You don't have to make it a big thing, I guess. Or maybe like where you live, make a decision about your rent, getting roommates. Personally, I don't really pay that much in rent. I only pay maybe I won't reveal that, but I pay a very little amount of rent because I live with my parents, so I only pay a little bit to them. But that would be a great decision that is really going to help you in the long run, because if I were to move out, I would be spending over $2,000 on rent here, and that is not good. Whereas here I can save money on rent, I can invest that money and have it grow so I can be comfortable in my future. Let's see, other decisions, if you're younger, the college you go to, or other things about career path. I'm trying to think more. Also like vacations and traveling. I think it's really good to give yourself a vacation, but in terms of like how much money you spend on it, maybe you can compromise about the price of the hotel, or even like traveling. Personally, I don't really like to travel because I feel like it's kind of a hassle in a lot of cases. As much as I love traveling, and I've been to a few different, I think I've been to a couple countries, but I don't know. It's not like you should rely your happiness on something that you have to spend a lot of money on to achieve. Like, you can be grateful for where you are, and I know that's like kind of crushing a lot of people's dreams, but I don't know, it's true. I think maybe it's just my opinion, but travel if it's feasible, but don't go too crazy, and appreciate the small things. Make your life at home, meet people, you can join communities within your vicinity. But it is also personal choice. But I think my point is that there's a certain philosophy and mindset to be in order to make your money work for you. And it kind of goes with being comfortable, never spending that money. I think the whole goal of it is just to have peace of mind that you have money that you are able to make yourself comfortable, basically. Like, I'm not saving money because I want a really rich, lavish lifestyle in the future. I'm saving money so I can be comfortable in the future. It's not like I'm going to be spending that money in the future on a bunch of things. I'm probably going to die with it. So that is my little spiel on personal finance right now. I think there's a lot more to discuss, but I am just sick of listening to myself talk. Thank you so much, and have a great day.